Hey there, oh there, I'm Njol, and welcome one and welcome all. And you know what I did this weekend? I went to a convention called Regncon, an annual convention here in Bergen in Norway, where you are playing role-playing games, tabletop games, card games, and a lot of such things. For 3 days straight, if you want to. There is also cosplay, and there is cosplay. There is also there's being social, and there was a quiz, some karaoke. All in all, a really great time. But and we've stayed at the hotel called Grand Terminus, a great hotel, old school, very beautiful, with the most ugly looking bathroom decor ever, white and black checkered walls. But yeah, I suppose that is to be expected. No, what the place had in mind. No. So what did I play? I played some homebrew things that really ended up pissing me off incredibly and triggering me something fierce, even though I hate dealing with triggers. I just become so pissed that I really wanted to stab someone, it seems. Yeah, and I couldn't stab them in-game or throw them down the stairs because the game master was too railroading. Well, it was Game Master's one of the first rodeo with the homebrew, so yeah, I can guess I can forgive that. It's just incredibly annoying to be pissed off. That's all. Being pissed off at players who want to sacrifice you on a fucking altar by using, you know, persuasion, and the other one pressuring me into it. That just really pisses me off. In order to, resurrect try to free a frigging white colonizer in Britain has been stuck in a limbo of death because he did stupid human sacrificing rituals. And why the fuck do I want to bring his white ass back? He deserves to rot. He was a Freemason anyway, so whatever, that was a very deep and pleasant experience. What, however, was a pleasant experience and greatly enjoyable is Vaesen, or Vaesen as it's called. It takes place in the mythical Scandinavia, where you at the 1900s, and there is an organization that in Sweden that travels around the countryside solving paranormal issues and mysteries. And it's a quite great fun, as is right around and after the what you call the Renaissance, which gives you ample opportunity to avoid such as convenient things as cell phones, social media, digital cameras. So essentially, you have to do things old school sleuthing way. And it seems that many of the cases is based around you can avoid dealing with violence. Rather, I should say, the game system isn't built around just shooting your way out of all of the manuals. Sure, you can technically, but you know what happens if you shoot a possessed human? You kill them. And you know what usually costs, and that's usually illegal and very hard to get away with. And especially if the reason the human was possessed in the first place it was because someone else killed them unjustly, and the supernatural forces are call upon a makes the girl of the father call upon a remnant through a scratchy play. it causes it to because he was unjustly killed by the father and wanted revenge. Yeah, well, you probably just the players are probably just gonna end up making more issues in the long run. So yeah, the interesting thing with the system though is that it mainly uses d6. So if you have, let's say, 5 in physique and 2 in insight, you need to roll that. Then you have 5 dice. Then you, for example, 3 in one and 2 in other. Then you have 5 dice. And if you score a 6 on either one of the dice, you succeed. And the damage is based around you get physical and mental damage. And the mental damage is essentially you get scared, you get angry, and yeah, I don't recall the third one, but the fourth one is broken. Because then you just doesn't die, you just sort of you just breaks down for a while, and only extended rest can soothe your wounds. You can fix that. Also, there's no. I should probably warn you about a bit of spoiling, you know. Well, what was it about? Well, the module is about. It's a double negative, isn't it? Double positive. Anyways, the story was about this. We're starting off with a bunch of people at an office. But these supernatural hunters. Then that invite you to a play that has to do with clockwork. Somewhere in Uppsala in Sweden. And the bottom of the note has the person has a handwritten note about whom you should contact. So eventually you get to this in this dilapidated, kind of creepy looking Wally inn over at this place. And that one is full of patrons, an angry, gruff, no-nonsense farmer, and and his daughter, and of course there is a priest. Because there's always a frigging priest. And they may, but there's no guarantee that the holy man of the cloth is of any use whatsoever against the supernatural. You know, there's no guarantee that a priest is qualified. Isn't that a bit cynical, eh? So naturally, as all everything goes, you walk around and talk to people, gather clues, and get dragged into this tangled weave of weirdness. Cause how on earth does a girl that's around 16 years old get inspiration to write a play about someone in I think it was in Venetia. That she's never heard of, she's never seen before, and that has never has nothing to do with this country at all. So, of course, it feels a bit hilarious that half the party playing women, and one of them is essentially just breaking in the doors, breaking down, is just picking doors everywhere, going, yeah, I'm gonna, oh, this room is full of people, I am gonna try and break into this room. Yeah, nothing can go wrong. Well, she got locked outside. So, then wasn't that fun? But where the fun part comes in is, of course, how the player interacts and acts. And if there's one thing, they act in stupid ways and smart ways. With no rhyme or reason. And one such thing is, well, you know, breaking in. The other part is a lot more simple. You're not breaking in or breaking down doors and people's, you know, property. You eventually convince the girl to invite you up into the attic, where she performs a shadow play. No, a white blanket with a light source and some clockwork, more advanced than, you know, you would expect from someone living in the countryside would be able to put together. Especially consider that clockwork in general is very hard in the first place. It's a skill that is you need specific gear and training to do. Yeah, it is not some, and it's generally not something. It's not a very female. Yes, it's a bit misogynistic there, but hey, that's the time period and all. It's just not a very female profession. And also, how many people can make, and besides making clocks, it wasn't a very common thing just yet. I think it was coming around, but yeah, you need specialized equipment and knowledge to make a frigging to open that door. Go down that rabbit hole. But anyways, so during the play, all hell breaks loose and something breaks through the canvas and tries to murder me, eviscerate me. It fails. I try to hit it with a lantern. That also fails. And what did this failing lead me? Well, eventually the thing ran. One of the players tried to shoot it. It also kind of failed. And eventually the creatures ran outside. The player then decided to, oh, I have a dog. Let's go out and sick it. The dog gets killed. Yeah. What did this talk about player agency and stupid choices? No, my dog! Oh, yeah, I should probably give warning about that, I suppose. Nah, whatever. So the dog died. And there was nothing we could do about it. But then again, yeah, it's your own fault for bringing the mutt along. Well, moving on. It appeared that the father of the stern father of the girl had committed murder, cutting the throat of some person he knew, and he's also violent and abusive, as you are. But anyways, the point is that the person he killed was out for revenge, and the supernatural forces of the world used his daughter as a conduit to enact that revenge by making her put on a play where a remnant shows up. Interestingly enough, though, I managed to deduce that it was a remnant before we even fought the thing. So yeah, that was a bit fun. I totally didn't mean to do that, though. But I did, and still, doesn't mean we know how to deal with it. So how do you deal with the remnant? Yeah, killing it is stupid. It's just not how you do it. What you need to do is find a place where where the corpse is buried, and put it in consecrated soil. So how... And how do you do that? Well, you go to the collapsed place in the yard, the collapsed conservatory, which was a red herring. You only found the hung and dead corpse of the father there. So that was a bit of a dead end. And we were surrounded by all of the collapsed people. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. All of the people in the inn collapsed and then become possessed, because the remnant rewrote reality around the local area in order to get his wishes fulfilled. That wish was to get properly buried in consecrated soil next to the graveyard, in a proper graveyard. So then we ran past the sleepwalkers and headed into the cellar, where we found a place of a dirt-covered place that we could unearth, and there we found the rotten remains of this dude. And got a haunting vision. So we dug it up and ran for the cemetery with the nearby church, and performed the burial ritual, and buried it in a shallow but proper grave. And then that was the end of the adventure, but still, it's a really fun, a bit more narrative-driven, simple system that doesn't really... a simple narrative system that embraces the good old tradition of the private detective gumshoe mystery novel with the supernatural horror. Where where the supernatural is most definitely real, and somebody has to deal with it. And in this case, it has to be humanity. A very a publicly funded this organization that specializes in hunting down the creatures of the underworld. As in Scandinavia, we call it the under-earth people, due to it's unwanted children of Adam and Eve that she hid from God. And then when God came to want to see the children, she said, "No, I don't have any. This is all my children. So since you do not want these children to be seen, the world will never see them again," or something like that. You know, Old Testament stuff. So that's what they call it, the under earth, or the underdark creatures, otherwise known as the Vaesen, which means creature, or yeah. So yeah, would I recommend it? Yeah, it's a lightweight, fun and accessible system with easy to roll, easy to learn. That has a really cool stories. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Have a good day.